Hi good people, Titus here for part 3 of the Flashbang Blender mini-series, and in this video we're basically going to tackle the top portion of our model, which is going to be this guy right here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do Shift A. We're going to add in a cylinder for under our mesh section. I'm going to leave it at 32 sections, and I'm just going to scale it actually in the viewport. So we'll go ahead and push 1, grab it, bring it up, Alt-Z to go into X-ray, and then I'll just scale the entire thing down, maybe right there. My reference, I'm actually going off of a different image that I'm using on PureRef, which is a program I highly recommend if you start doing a lot of Blender models. It just allows you to take a bunch of different images of various things, so you're able to pull for different parts basically for your models. And I don't particularly like the style of the fuse cap for this one, so I'm going to be using a slightly different one. But yeah, so right here, there's a couple different ways we can tackle this. I think I'm gonna bring it down, and then I'm just gonna bring parts of it up, and then kind of stack it. And then we'll see how that goes. So let's actually scale this down, probably right about there. And then I'm going to scale it in the Z only to get like a flat pancake. Then I'll rest it right there. Alt-Z. Yeah, that's probably what I'm looking for. Alright. So what we'll do is we're going to isolate the... Well, actually, before we do that, if we go into N for our viewport, we can see the item has non-uniform scale and position. This will cause issues for our mirror and all sorts of other things we're going to do. So let's just go ahead and press Control A and apply all transforms. And then you'll notice it's zeroed out and one across the scale, so we're looking a lot better. All right, but yeah, I'm going to press / to isolate my shape. And then I'm going to go 7 for top view, and I'm going to go into edit mode with tab, and then vertex mode. I'm going to be mirroring across the Y axis, so I'm going to get a line going down the X. So I'm going to select those 2 points and press J to join. And then I'm going to do maybe 4th item down, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then J to join. And then from here, I will maybe select this guy and this guy here. We'll press J to join. And then we're going to do one more. My reference image has a pretty wide front with only a slight divot over here. So I'm going to get a little bit more space on the towards the middle. So I'll select here and then join these together. And then you kind of have this shape. So what I meant earlier when I said I was going to stack on top, we'll go into face mode, and we will actually select all the faces we plan to stack. So I'm going to leave this one and this one unselected. And then I'm going to come out of isolation mode with the /, go into 1 for the front viewport. I'm going to press E to extrude. And I'm going to go to right about there. And now you'll notice we get the shape I was looking for. So we have this little dent down here. So let's go back into isolation mode. I'm going to press X and delete these faces. We'll worry about those in a second. And let's go ahead and make this a little bit more interesting. Select this edge here. We'll press Control B and bevel it. And I like the amount there. That's okay. Now you may get weird shading artifacts, so what we can do is go into vertex mode, and you generally want good edge flow. So this edge should go all the way down, and same with this one, they currently don't. So what you can do is you can select each vertex point, and then just press J to join it, so you have good edge flow going down. And that can sometimes help with weird shading anomalies. And then J to join. I'm actually going to select just this vertex. I'm going to do a GG to grab and slide it down just a pinch. Maybe right about there. Now I want to delete this back half here, so I will do face select, Alt Z, and I'm just going to select everything like that. Come out of X-ray mode, and then make sure that it's selected right. Actually, before I do that, let's go into object mode, and let's go ahead and get our mirror set up. So let's go to our modifier stack. We'll add a mirror modifier. And remember, this is across the y-axis that we're doing, so we'll change X to Y. And then we actually do have to bisect it, and we also have to flip it. So now you can see, if I come out of isolation mode, that was more of the shape I was going for. Kind of like that. All right. With our mirror modifier, we're actually going to turn clipping on. Because we're going to be joining faces together later. I will give you guys a reminder on that in case you miss it, but that can cause some issues if you don't have that on. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. But yeah, so let's go back into edit mode. It still has our back selected, so I'm going to press X, delete those faces. Looks good. And I'm going to go 7 for the top-down view. Back into vertex mode, and I am going to select all these vertices there, and we're actually going to dissolve these. So if you press X and dissolve vertices, it should keep the line, which it does. If it doesn't, you don't have to worry. You can simply select this one and join it, and then select these and then delete it, and then that would work as well. So now we're left with this shape right here. All right, so let's go into edge mode. We're going to select this edge and this edge. I'm going to come out of isolation mode, go into front view, going to extract. So I got a nice grab here. I can press X to lock it in my X axis, and then I can come out right about where the top of the unit meets there. So maybe right about there. Looks good. And we can make sure our mirror modifier is working, and it is. And then let's go back into isolation mode. We'll go into, we'll actually select this edge here. I don't think we're going to need it, so we can press X and dissolve it. We'll go into vertex select. Let's select this bottom vertex here. We'll do a Control B, and then press V for vertex, and give it a nice bevel. Well, actually, before we do that, let's right click to cancel that, and let's come out of isolation mode, / and then 1. We can grab this vertex, lock it in the X, and drag it over, kind of like that. There we go. Then we can press Control B, and then V, as in Victor, and then kind of line it up there, just so you get a nice rounded edge. And then we're going to do the same thing on the top one as well. So Control B for bevel, V for vertex, and you can roll your mouse wheel up or down to increase the number of vertices to make it smoother, or however you're looking, basically. All right, then I'm pretty happy with that shape so far. We're going to edge select. I'm going to back into isolation mode with /. I'm going to select this bottom edge here, and if you hold Control, you can click around the edges to build a selection, kind of like that. So it'll follow around. And this is the part where we need clipping enabled. So if you don't have clipping, if we were to extrude and lock it in the y-axis, we can clip right through, kind of like that. And it's not together. So I'll undo that, turn clipping on, and I can extrude again, lock it in the y-axis, go forward, and now you'll notice if I grab that edge loop, it's stuck together, which is what I was looking for. So I'll right click to cancel that, and just get a quick look around. Happy with that so far. We're going to come to the front here. I'm going to press Control R to add an edge loop here. and then I'm actually going to right click to center it perfectly. And I'm going to select, go into face mode, these front 4 faces here. I'm going to come out of isolation mode, back into front view. I'm going to press E to extrude, and I'm going to lock these out probably about midway of that cylinder. Now you notice that it's not even on the edge. What we can do is we can scale in that axis, which in that case would be X. So if we press S, X, and then 0, and then enter, it'll flatten that right out. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go into edge selection, and I'm gonna go view, frame selected to reset my view so I can get some movement back. I am going to hold shift and select these edges here, kind of like that. Push 1, Alt Z to go in transparency mode. I am going to grab and lock in the Z axis, and I'm just going to bring this really high up, kind of right there. Come out of transparency with Alt Z, and that looks pretty good. Alright, back into edit mode. I'm going to go back to face select. I'm going to delete these faces here. So X, delete faces. Then I'm going to go into edge select. And I'm going to try to fill this out. I think what I'll do is I will select this guy and hold control to this edge point here. Then I'll hold shift and select this one and press F to fill. I'm not entirely happy with that, but we'll make it work. I'm going to select this edge here and hold shift, and I'm going to select this one here, and then I'm going to fill it that way. We'll have to check if that gives us any weird shading. Hopefully we'll be all right though. I think we'll be okay. All right, let's come to the back and let's go to face select. We're going to select this back here. I want to kind of like a divot if I'm going off this reference image over here. The way I can do that is I'm going to need a little bit of rigidity off this bevel. So I'll do I for inset, and right about there, and then I'll I to inset a smaller one, and then I can use that second one that I did and I can scale it. So S for scale, and then Z to lock it in the Z axis, and I can actually type 0 to 0 that scale out. Now if I come to the front view with 1 and then Alt Z, I can grab this this face selection, and I can't lock it to an axis because it's not exactly going to be even. I want a little bit of a swing, I guess. And I'm going to get a little bit of unevenness here, and I'll show you how to fix that. So we'll maybe go right about there. Come out of X-ray mode. Okay. If you notice right here, it's kind of uneven on that edge. But what you can do is just select this edge here, X, and then dissolve it. And let me see if I can actually show what this will look like. So if you pay attention to this little line or this line here, so X, dissolve edge, you notice it straightens right up. And that's what I was looking for. All right. So looking at my reference over here, I think that looks pretty good. So if I right click and shade smooth, looks awful, but you can come over here to your, was it auto groups or your object data properties? Under normals, you can auto smooth, and a 30-degree auto smooth should fix most of our angles, because most of our angles are within those variances. And let's go into our mech cap / isolate and kind of look at some unforgiving shading to see if anything kind of stands out with our geo. Not terrible, so I think this will work for what I'm looking for, so pretty good. Alright, and then just to show you the I guess the image I was going off of real quick. It's PureRef is a wonderful program. I highly recommend you guys, especially if you're getting serious into modeling, just being able to throw, if you take a reference object like such as a flashbang, you can find like maybe 20 or 30 different images of different flashbangs, and then you can kind of pick different parts on the model that you like better versus some of the others. And I really like this older style where it's got a wider head. It's a little bit lower, and it's just got some divots, so I think that's going to work pretty good. Versus this one right here, which looks a little bit more plasticky, but maybe that's just the rust in the other one, I don't know. Alright, but this video is already pretty long, so I think we'll cut it there. We'll have to tackle the cylinder in the next one, and then we'll roll that into the handle as well, and then we'll eventually get to the charge. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one.